Hey everybody, welcome back. This is episode 3 of my Clockwork Empires playthrough. I'm playing through release version 37b. Those of you, the attentive among you, may have noticed that I've skipped ahead in time since the end of episode 2. And basically I cut out a lot of really boring stuff where nothing really happened. At the end of episode 2 we were still waiting for a couple of these buildings to be built, and I hadn't even built this ceramics workshop here. I actually recorded that entire session and then I reviewed it and I realized this is really dull. It consisted of me largely waiting for people to haul logs back from the jungle. So I just threw that out and I picked it up here. I think we're in a better position here because now that I have planks and timbers and I've got the ability to make brick, it'll be much easier to build some more advanced buildings. We'll really see the pace of expansion picking up from this point forward. So we mined that clay node earlier, so we've got a bunch of cubes of clay in the stockpile. So I'm just gonna make some bricks. As always, I get the no overseer warning for the ceramics workshop because I queued up an order without a work crew assigned there. We still have a severe food shortage here in the colony. I've got 2 farm plots going, but we definitely need more food. Someone's having ominous dream. Ooh, this is a new ominous dream. This one's about a mysterious city lost beneath the waves. I'll just brush it off like any good Imperial diplomat would do. Let's take a look at Benedict Steellock. If I can find him in the roster. Oh, he's one of my artisans. Let's see. Oh, fish people incoming. 6 people. Actually, I'm going to read his biography later. 6 soldiers, probably enough for 6 fishmen. Alright, let's see. Benedict Steellock. He likes to have stuff. He's had his sleep disturbed. Oh, that's a new thing in this version. Or quite recently, anyway. It is now possible to awaken colonists by various means. So colonists who have things explode near them, or they hear gunfire, or if there's sounds of fighting or whatever, close to them when they are sleeping will awaken. So it is now, or being a common problem earlier in the earlier in development was that people would die in their sleep because fishmen would punch them through walls until they died and they wouldn't wake up. That's been dealt with, as well as the more logical ways one might awaken from sleeping, which is to say you can be awakened by gunfire and explosions, and Benedict Steellock has unpleasant memories about being awoken that way. He also had an ominous dream. He's been seeing horrible fish creatures. So his mental state is a little bit unstable. Well, I hope he doesn't go all murder happy on us. I'm just a little bit concerned about this stockpile. I think that one just might be permanently bugged, unfortunately. Draw a new stockpile over here. How am I doing for stone? Oh, I've got a ton of stone. I could use, someone's been destroying a gabion. This guy. Someone's stuck inside a gabion. That's not good. Huh. Well, I hope that doesn't become a problem. Actually, it's I can fix that. It's actually possible to demolish gabions using the area select And hopefully that will free whoever that is that's stuck inside. Now, I wouldn't recommend using the demolish tool too much because it's kind of buggy and sometimes causes the game to break. Like in the unrecorded session that happened between episodes 2 and 3, I tried demolishing this stockpile, which immediately crashed my game. So consider not doing that. Should probably get rid of all this grass on stockpile number 3. My workers are still very overloaded. I guess I should ease up on the jobs here. Butcher, farm, there are no extraneous jobs going on. Yeah, I guess all we do is just wait for them to get a little bit further down the job list. Do I need more workers or do you need more squads? I think I'm actually going to call in an artisan. Pardon me. Yeah. So, let's make sure my new artisan has some workers. I'm going to skim off some workers from squads that don't need quite so many. There we go. Oh, and we've got a bandit spawn somewhere. Now, I think to date, in this playthrough, we've had three bandit notifications, and I haven't actually seen any, unless I've forgotten one, attack the camp, or attack my colony, which means they're still out there somewhere. I'm going to continue our current policy of shooting bandits we see. Right, I've skipped ahead in time a little bit again. Just to save you guys a little bit of the boring gather resources thing. So we've had a successful corn crop come in a couple of times. Still waiting on these chilies. We've got a good stock of bricks and timber now. So I think we can start thinking about expanding again. What to build next? I would build a metalworks only, like in all the areas we've explored, all the areas we've seen so far, I haven't seen any metal nodes. So actually I think before I build a metalworks, I'm going to need to build a mine. So let's put the building, well, logically where would you put a mine? I prefer not to put the mine right beside the place where everyone's sleeping. Just, you know, being considerate. I'll put it back here behind the ceramics workshop. Now, strictly speaking in terms of game mechanics, I don't think the mine generates noise that will actually awaken sleepers. But I don't think actual people who have to actually sleep would like to live too close to a mine. Which is why I'm just putting it out here. There's one mine shaft will do for now. Let's give this building a door or two. That'll be fine. I'm actually going to put a bed in here as well, since it's on the other side of town. Oh, about an event. Uh-oh. Scholar rants about the colony. Someone has written a confusing and rambling report filled with complaints. Well, looks like nobody read it. And to nobody's surprise, starvation is rampant in the colony. Although we're doing a little bit better now. We actually have a little bit of food trickling into the stockpiles. Let's snap up these coconuts. So the mine shaft is under construction. Once the mine shaft is up and running, we'll have some raw ore coming in, and then we can start worrying about a refinery and a metalworks, and then turning it into stuff at the arsenal. Which brings up an interesting point. In this revision, or again in like 36C or something, whatever, the experimental revision that directly preceded this release, all those buildings were combined into one. So if we look at the buildings submenu, we can see here there's only one metalworks building. And as I was saying, that's because all the various metalworking functions have been combined into a single building, which is the one building can now accommodate all the modules that would ordinarily have to be built into 3 different buildings, which makes sense if you think about it, because the old tech tree, so to speak, was to build the ceramics workshop, so you had some bricks, and then to build the refinery, so you had somewhere to smelt the raw ores into ingots, and then you had to have a metalsmith to take those ingots and work them into metal parts, and then you had to have an arsenal which could use those metal parts and assemble them into weapons or tools or whatever. That was a lot of overhead, given that you would have to build a separate building for each of those and assign a separate work crew for each of those buildings. And so in the interest of not making things too fiddly, I do appreciate that they're all combined into a single building. Here, I'll just draw out the blueprint, although I don't have nearly enough parts to actually build it. So here's the blueprint for our metalworks, right? Actually, I might as well build some doors in here. But if we now look at the modules that can be built in this building, we can see all of the modules that would have gone into 3 separate buildings, right? So we have the crucible, which would have done the smelting, the kiln, which turns logs into charcoal fuel, which is necessary. Then what would have gone in the metalworks building are the various kilns. The kilns turn planks into coal or charcoal, as you can see in the upper left of these icons here. The smithing forge, which would have gone into metalworks, is now located in this same building. Yeah, so basically all the functions of those 3 buildings are now in one. I like to call it the Omni Metalworks. But I'm not going to build any of those modules yet, because they're going to suck up a lot of resources I don't have. And I'm still waiting on the mine to get built, so I have some ores. So, with that said, oh, someone is... What was that? Eugenia. She was humbled by the infinite terror of the unimaginable, and didn't she have the stream already? Is this becoming a recurring thing for her? Yeah, unfortunately her metal state is unhinged. Unless I can get, I can tech up to making laudanum or sulfur tonic, I fear her mental state may decline further, which, you know, is bad enough by itself. But then and we've already seen a couple of people attempt to start cults. Now, cults aren't, well, I say they're not an inherently bad thing, but they kind of are. Obviously, cult members can still be productive members, and they can still contribute to society. They'll still work in the workshops you assign them to and all that stuff. But big cults will make shrines, and shrines will summon creatures from beyond time and space, and occasionally prompt cultists to go on a murder spree, which is not good. However, it might be, that said, it might not be worth the effort of killing cultists, because you're reducing your own workforce for one, and also under some circumstances, a certain level of cultism may be tolerable. When cultists are allowed to worship at cult altars, for instance, they are happy. They are irrationally happy. They will ignore things like hunger or being awoken in their sleep. Things that would bother normal colonists. Now, normal colonists are upset when they see people worshipping in cult altars. So it's a delicate balancing act. You want maybe a lot of little cults and not too many big cults. I think I have some random fish people corpses just scattered around town, so I'm just gonna butcher them all. I see we're out of food again. Man, those 2 crops went really fast. Oh, what is this? Oh, here's the new bandit raid notification. 2 bandits incoming. Well, if it's a fight they want by cog, they'll get one. I also had the opportunity, the other option there was to just let them take whatever they want, and that might not actually have been too bad a thing. There's only 2 of them. They would have taken 1 thing each and left. And I have plenty of stuff. But it would have cost me prestige, and frankly I can kill them easily. So that's why I told my soldiers to shoot bandits on sight. Still waiting on the construction of that module. Oh, where did all my timber go? No wonder we're still waiting. I see all the planks we made earlier have been used up. Of course, the kitchen staff are idle because there is literally nothing to cook. This man appears to be trapped inside a workbench. This building has enough bricks and still needs more planks. Well, we've got plenty of wood, and I've got planks queued up on order, so it's just a matter of time there. Also, where are those bandits? Maybe they just got killed way off in the distance. Well, fair enough. That's the way it goes. I think what we need is another farm. We are still running out of food. We're in desperate straits. What was this one? Corn. This one was chilies. Let's make sugarcane this time. Huh. You know what? No, I think I need food people will be able to eat. So I'm going to grow more corn. Sugarcane can be harvested and turned into sugar loaf, which might be edible. I actually don't remember anymore. Let me get back to that. What do I need in terms of workers? I actually have plenty of workers. I could probably use another artisan. Okay. New artisan. New artisan somewhere. Well, I'll double check that in a second. Yes, the thing about... So sugarcane can be harvested, and it can be turned into sugar loaf, which is a crucial ingredient in the production of rum. Ah, there's one of the bandits being chased off by one of my guards. And a foolish fishman who has wandered into the crossfire. Given that the bandit wave was only 2 bandits, I think we've successfully fended them off. Oh, what's going on here? One of my work parties dissolved. This man starved to death. Okay, so this is a bit of a glitch. He's still standing, but clearly he's just died from hunger. Dead bandits. So we can set policy for how we treat bandit corpses now. We can just let them rot on the fringes of town. But we are a civilized colony, so we will show respect for the dead and allow them to be buried in our graveyard. The repercussion of this is that the bandits, now they'll recognize my magnanimity. I was magnanimous. Magnanimity, whatever. You know what I was trying to say. Um, so the bandit squad that tried to attack me has just offered me a truce. They won't plunder us if we leave them alone, which is fine with me. Let's end the bloodshed. Oh, what's going on here? The same bandit emissary has recognized my toughness and respect, and has offered to share loot with me. I could refuse, but I'm actually going to receive the goods. Now, I happen to know this will reduce my prestige. But whatever, I only had 2 prestige anyway. So there's some added subtlety now, or some added complexity with the manner in which you deal with bandits. Also, since one of my work crews dissolved, I've got a bunch of free-floating workers, which is good because I just ordered in a new overseer. And I believe this fine lady here, has just buried the bandit corpse. Well, I think that's a good place to leave this one off. We were well on our way to being able to process metal, finally. That took quite a while, actually. We had a little bit more time setting up the subsistence basis of our colony. The mine will be completed shortly, and then the metal works will be halfway done. And I think next episode we can start manufacturing metal goods, upgrading some weapons. I think I've actually got a weapons shortage, so I might actually make some weapons as well. And hopefully I'll be able to build a lab and research some of the cool new stuff. Until then, though, my name has been Alfred. This was my 3rd episode in my version 37 playthrough. The game is Clockwork Empires, being developed by Gaslamp Games. It's available on Steam and through their own website. If you're interested in this sort of thing, I recommend maybe you check it out. Well, thanks very much for watching. Have a good one.